what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Guys on Sports. Special Thanksgiving edition. We're dropping this Thanksgiving morning.
Right now.
Right now.
Morning. Hype man.
Yeah, so right after the Macy's parade, right?
Yeah.
You pop this on, hopefully.
Right after.
Right before leading into the games.
I can't believe that balloon popped in the Macy's parade. That big one that they do all the time. That one, that big one.
Oh yeah, that was crazy.
It was like a tragic fire.
So windy day.
Was that Kim Kardashian's cherry balloon? Is that what popped?
Well, because
Finally.
That's rough.
yeah. Well, they're watching it after the parade, so
Yeah. After you guys seen what happened.
yeah, the parade. Lots of people died.
So Thanksgiving, guys.
On New Year's Day, we'll be bringing this show to you right after the Mother's Day parade.
You and the mummers.
That's a crossover episode. Go watch Guys on Draft.
So, week 12 is here. This is when, they say the real season starts. You see who's the contenders, pretenders. We talked about it a little bit last week.
We're going to become men.
We're going to talk about the Thanksgiving games. Go ahead, Mark.
Injury set in. You really had to have done your due diligence on the waiver wire up to this point because
Talking
as you
about
can see.
fantasy. Okay, yes.
Is that where we went?
We were just talking about football, but it's fine to do that, but just preface it like fantasy.
Or the waiver wire of life.
Or, also wait for Elaine to speak. That helps.
Yeah, you got to make your own lane on this show. We're all microphone whores on this show.
And you're talking to two people that cut the show up and edit it. So you're really
No, you're doing good.
doing a losing battle.
So, you guys got plans?
Actually, no. My girlfriend works retail, and
what are you doing?
I'm staying at home with cats and doing absolutely nothing.
Sucks.
Oh my God, you sound like a 65-year-old fucking widowed woman.
Yeah.
What time does she work till? She's working like Black Friday. My wife used to work retail, and that's hell.
Yeah, it's the first one.
So
Where does she work?
At the Anthropology at Disney Springs.
Oh my God! Listen,
Yeah.
you're gonna. It's a chance for you to shine, because it's going to be bad.
Oh shit.
So I'm telling you, it's a real shit show.
You better have that dinner ready.
My wife used to work. She was a manager.
I mean, I did think about that. Of course,
This was back like 8 years ago at in the outlets at a shoe store.
Yeah. Well, my mom works at a 2J's, so they're working as well.
Oh, nice. But they're doing a lot of catering, right?
Yeah, and I think my dad's working, and I think my brother's working too. So I literally have nothing to do on Thanksgiving.
I mean, I would if I were you.
Come on over, buddy, if you want.
You should have.
Actually, I think I do have plans.
Wow, that might be the fastest rejection ever.
Wow, holy shit! Not even an excuse. Just I have plans.
No, you know what? I do have plans.
I would definitely, if I were you, I would definitely have dinner ready to go. I mean, earlier in the day, you can split the the turkey Friskies can with the cats for a snack. But when she comes home, you better have that dinner on the table, Zach.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
I'll just be on the table, apple in the mouth.
Disgusting. All right, so
That is
no
horrible.
comments this week.
No comments this week.
But we're gonna get a picks recap. Hit us off with it, Mark.
All right, this week was an absolute shit show.
Yeah, it was.
Except for one person did okay.
Wait, what?
Okay.
Did you hit both of your? I only put you for +3.
Yes, I did.
Oh my God,
Do we have to fact check Mark's counting throughout the
we
whole
might have
No,
to.
this is the first time.
He probably would make himself have more points if.
So, luckily, Rocky, with his one win, hit a 2-pointer.
Yeah, good for him.
So he extends his lead to 35. Phil puts up the big old
0.
the big old chocolate starfish 0.
How many is that?
32.
Compared to yours.
That's my second.
Yeah, and I
2 or
have
4.
No, I have 2. Dick.
No, you
said
have 3.
Zach puts up.
You have 3.
I have 2. Zach puts up a 4 and now ties Phil
Nice.
at 32.
Uh-oh.
And
You put up 4 with 2. You had 2 pushes too, right?
2 pushes and then my dog and my lock hit.
Nice.
And then I picked up a point on Phil. I'm up to 21.
21.
You're up to 21, huh? You're still in those 20s.
Mark's
Drinking
finally
age.
drinking it, yeah.
All right, so I came in last, huh?
Yes, you
Is
did.
it story time?
There's gonna be. Oh, are we doing it now? Or are we doing the story later? Was this just a preface? Or are we doing it now?
Oh, let's do a little tease, right?
You want to do tease?
Yeah,
Oh, it's
I wanna
supposed to
do
be
that.
later?
Watch the rest of this
I'm
video.
stupid.
Yeah.
After
We've
the
been
Macy's
doing
Day
it at the
parade.
beginning, though.
No, dude, we've been doing this at the beginning, and then we stop, and then we come back to it later.
What is that?
Little
Yeah,
tease.
tease.
No, we've been saying it at the beginning. Last 2 weeks.
Oh, you didn't recognize it because I didn't use two hands. You're used
Oh
to
no,
the
it
two
feels right.
hands.
Feels right.
Yeah, but we can do it that way. That's fine with
No,
me.
give your fucking story.
Yeah.
Now
You want my
we're
story now?
we're intrigued.
Okay, I'll take you back to Hoboken. 1994, circa. I had a full head of hair. I was a young boy. I was good looking. I was ready for the world.
Looked a lot like me.
I don't know. No, I was younger, better looking,
Okay.
more athletic. So
Tanner.
I used to play youth. I mean, I played all youth sports, but basketball was one of my favorites.
That's how I know you're not from youth. That's how I know you're not from Hoboken. You say youth. You. It's youth sports.
Well, I'm not
Just
on
like
the
my cousin
corner right
Vinny.
now, so
Youth sports.
yeah, no. You're stupid. Stop talking. All right,
Yeah,
my
let
turn.
him- let him
me
tell a
tell my
story.
story.
Tell your
Stop
story.
making your own lanes.
I was about to say something really mean, but I held myself back.
Yeah, that's good.
So
You're a real gentleman.
played basketball, right? And I played basketball on the basketball team. And normally at that age, I still get nervous before games, stuff like that. So whatever, we show up to the gym like an hour before the game to get shots up. Really, you're just doing layups at that age, but whatever, you're practicing. So we get there, and I got the bubble guts a little bit. So I go in the bathroom. It's right there by the court to take a shit.
We tell so many shit stories.
Yeah,
And listen, I remember this story quite well. So
we have digestive issues as a podcast.
now the gym was at one of the middle schools, so there's the bathroom right there next to the court, and typically you expect all the amenities that you would have in a bathroom. So I go in there and I don't even think twice, sit down, pop out of shit. Then I go to wipe and there's no toilet paper. Now, nobody's really at the gym yet, and at this point my father was an assistant coach for the team. So he's out there, and then maybe like some of the maintenance people, but that's it. No, it wasn't that. It was too big, the place, and he was like I just wasn't thinking like that. So I'm in the stall trying to figure out what am I gonna do. So naturally, I use my socks. I wipe my ass with my socks.
You're kidding.
No, I'm serious.
Why didn't you just like?
What would you do?
I would have. Was anyone else in the bathroom?
No.
I would have without making it worse on myself. I would have walked over to the next stall.
I was like, there was no other stalls.
It was just the one.
It's a bathroom in a school by a gym. It's just like one stall, one urinal.
Do your
There's
ass
no-
cheeks not touch?
There's no two. There wasn't two
Obviously, when I said one, I meant one.
paper towels.
No. All
at
right.
the
So
sink?
obviously, there's nothing else in there. I wanted to use the sock.
Wait a minute. Do your ass cheeks not touch?
You can make them so they don't.
What are you gonna spread?
No. I mean, if you gotta do it, you could do a waddle without. I
Yeah.
mean, first of all, not everybody's shit is like destroying the inside of their ass cheeks.
And now
where
everyone's
it's
got a
splattering
dope
everywhere.
truck like Marcus, apparently.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Every time you shit, it's all over the place. You can't move.
No. My point is when you stand up, that's when your ass cheeks clap back together.
I'm not standing up normally.
Well,
I'm
why are
like
your cheeks
keeping a
clapping?
squat
Anyway,
position. So no paper towels by the sink.
there's nothing. Anyway, it's a Saturday.
I feel like there were paper towels by the
No,
sink.
there was
You didn't
not.
check.
There was not. I didn't check.
I don't think
You think I went sock first, right after toilet paper? That's crazy.
Were there no
So
scraps laying around on the floor?
no. All right. So it's a Saturday morning. We play at like 9 a.m.
Yeah.
So the maintenance guys must not have got in there and replaced the stuff because it's a Saturday, I guess. Long story short, I use my socks. That's not the embarrassing part.
that is that story.
Embarrassing
no,
part is-
that's
No.
embarrassing to you. That's just
No, it's not embarrassing. It's just horrific.
The embarrassing
I mean-
part is that he put them back on and then
Well, let
stuck
him-
his,
let's
stuck
hear
his
it.
Barclays over him.
Yeah, maybe I could get through the story, right? No, I had Penny Hardaway's. So whatever, you wipe your ass, just being a man, figuring it out, getting it done, right? Wipe my ass with the socks, toss them in the trash. But you got to remember, like, I'm 8 and I'm nervous. I just shit and there's no toilet paper, right? So, like, all this, extra stuff you're talking about, I'm just nervous. So I'm done. All right. Now we're getting ready for the game. I took the shit, no socks, whatever. That kind of sucks. But playing the game now, important details I withheld until this moment. One of those details is that our uniforms are white. Okay? I mean, white shorts, white tops. And we're playing the game, whatever, and I'm starting to sweat, and you start feeling like that mud butt a little bit. And I'm thinking it's just sweat. Long story short, I'm over there playing, ball goes out of bounds, I'm inbounding the ball now. For some reason, it was pretty popular. There was always people at the games in the bleachers, so I'm inbounding in between the two bleachers. And I hear somebody say, "Oh, he got shit on his pants."
Oh my god!
Right? So I'm like, "Oh my god." Oh my God! So I'm thinking and now it's in my head, right? So we going down the court, and I don't have the ball. I check and I look, and I have like maybe something like about an inch and a half, like
bled through.
like a light brown, like it's like a coffee stain on a white shirt, but it's there right by the crack seam of my shorts.
So it's
right?
obvious.
Yeah, so it's like he shit himself, right? So now I'm playing the game, but here's the even worse part, right?
Nobody guarded you.
No, not that. No, the guys on the court didn't see it. It's like the girls and the
People that matter.
yeah, like the people watching the game, like, oh, he got shit in his pants.
Look, Mama, he shit still.
And then, so now the next time I get subbed out, my father's the assistant coach.
She's like, son, go to the bathroom.
No. He didn't know because he's coaching. You know, he's into the game or whatever. I get pulled to the bench. I go to sit down. He says, no, here. And he sits me on his lap. So I'm sitting on his lap with the shit in the shorts.
You didn't say anything?
What am I going to say?
Dad,
I'm
I shit my
8 years.
pants.
No, I didn't shit my pants. I'm coming. Have you played sports?
Yes.
All right, so you get pulled out of the game. I'm just trying to go to the bench. He grabs me and sits me on. What am I going to in front of the whole team?
You didn't say that.
Well, yeah, I said he sat me on his lap.
Oh.
What do you think? I just went to his lap
I
to
thought
sit
you
on?
meant
No.
like, here, son, take a knee on my...
No, I was going to sit
on my
on the
knee.
bench, and he just said here, and then put me on his lap, and it was like,
Okay.
yeah.
That makes more sense, I guess.
And then I had to finish the game. You know, obviously, I had to
You
play
ruined-
through.
You ruined his white jeans. You son of a
He
bitch.
wasn't wearing white jeans.
What was the stat line for you in that game?
Oh, I don't remember.
Was this like the shit game? Like it's like historical? Or
No,
is
that
it
was just a normal game. It was a normal game.
2 for 7,
No, I was better than that, but
A
it was
rebound.
nothing special. But it was.
3 turnovers.
I remembered it for 30 years, so there's that.
Yeah.
There's
And
that.
that made you the man you are today?
Yeah, I mean, listen, if I get in the same type of situation, I probably.
I still think that there were paper towels.
I
in
know
the-
you
by the
think
sink.
that, but I mean, it doesn't really matter.
I feel like maybe the trauma has, you forgot on that detail to help.
So
cope.
you thought I seen the paper towels?
No, well, I think
You thought I
didn't
didn't even check?
I don't think you did the hobble.
Here's the
went to the
interesting
front.
Well, there was no hobble, right? Because the place was about the size of this corner right here. So there's nothing
So
to
you
hobble.
open up the stall
Just
door,
open the door
and
and
you
you can
saw.
see. Yeah,
We're overlooking.
they have the.
Did you commit enough with your socks? Because you had residue. Apparently not.
Oh, I didn't know. All right, so
We're overlooking a glaring
okay,
aspect of
hold
the
on. I
story.
want to answer his question, but yes.
The fact that it's showing through your shirt, you had 2 layers. You had underwear on too.
I think I might have used the underwear too.
How terrible!
gosh.
How terrible a wiper are you?
I think I might have used
What is
underwear,
going
too.
That's what I'm asking too.
No, well, this is the embarrassing part is that I thought I got it all, but I'm wiping with socks, and I think I did use my underwear because that's how it happened.
See, that's what I would have done first. I would have gone underwear
Yeah,
first because there's
well-
more surface area. You can rip it up.
Well, not really. When you're 8, it's like a small. It was like this big.
Yeah, but your ass is also small, probably too.
It might. I mean,
It's
it might.
ratioed.
I think it was a mess. A little. It might have been like a little bit of a.
I would love to see you rip up a pair of underwear.
You could definitely rip a pair of underwear.
As a grown man, you would struggle to rip up a pair of underwear.
I don't think so.
As an
Rip up a
8-year-old?
pair and you can't rip a pair of
You just
underwear.
go. You just go by
As an
like the.
8-year-old?
Oh, an 8-year-old, yeah. No.
I think if desperate, I think the adrenaline kicks in.
The
you just rip by
adrenaline,
the
you're-
hole in the front.
I mean, you're
happen.
really giving yourself a lot of credit.
Yeah.
Well, no,
At
because
8
I've
years
been
old, you're the nerves of the situation.
I've been in these MacGyver shitstorm situations.
At 8 years
before.
old in a gym.
No.
Okay.
Not that early.
I said I already knew I had to go play a game, and there's shit all over the place, and there's nothing to wipe it with. So I'm already under the gun. I'm sweating in there. I'm trying to figure shit out, literally.
No pun intended. Well, that was the story.
And that's the story.
Wow.
Shitty.
That was almost a show.
Shitty basketball shorts.
I
Yeah, it
appreciate
was
you
long.
sharing.
Well,
that.
you guys kept interrupting. I mean,
It was an intriguing story.
I learned something new about you.
oh, there you go. Yeah.
Can't handle the pressure.
I will use a sock.
And you'll use the sock.
Yes. All right, so let's get to our Thanksgiving slate of games. We're not doing any drops today. We're just
Raw dogging.
jumping into it. I mean, this is Thanksgiving Day. Hopefully you're watching this, and we're going to break down each game. We got quite a slate. I think each one of these games has pretty big implications for the playoffs.
Huge.
We could go a few different ways here, but we're going to start with those Buffalo Bills at those hot Detroit Lions who just laid a whooping on my boys. So besides the playoff implications, what do we think happens here? I mean, do we think Detroit has a legitimate shot at home to beat the Bills?
I'm not expecting them to win the game. Could they cover potentially? But Buffalo is just too much of a proven playoff team. I think they're going to win the game.
I don't know, man.
It's real in-depth analysis there. So
when the table going, I'll come back to myself.
I got it.
I didn't expect Detroit to win the last 2 games, quite honestly, but they did. They hung in there. They pulled it out. I expected Buffalo to blow out their opponent the last 2 games, and they won by 8 last week and they lost the week before. I don't put it outside the realm of possibility that Detroit at home on Thanksgiving on their day pulls this off and extends their win streak to 4 and puts their names firmly in the playoff hunt.
Yeah, I think that I'm on the same page as both of you, kind of. I expect Buffalo to win. I wouldn't be surprised if the Lions won.
Yeah.
For the same reasons. I think Buffalo is proven team, obviously, but they have not looked like themselves the past couple weeks. I mean, they look like themselves against the Vikings. That was a little bit fluky, but whatever. Josh Allen's the issue. I think that, it's been a little bit shaky with him, red zone turnovers, stuff like that. Detroit, though, their offense, if their defense could play the way they have the last couple of weeks, I think that they are a legitimate threat to win this game at home. But I don't know that I'd put money on it, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, just Detroit, the Thanksgiving stat that we were talking about before we started recording is real. They have a losing record on Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Well, they just suck.
Yeah.
In general, so.
It means a lot, though. I was kind of hoping that the Bills would, even though I picked them last week on Pod Picks, I was hoping they would lose for the narrative of if the Bills then again lost to the Lions or at least look weak against the Lions. And I think there's not a fire sale in Buffalo, of course, but there's a big serious question mark for them. And the opposite for the Lions. The Lions are on the upswing if they win this game. Mark's right. If the Lions win this game and they beat the Bills and they beat the Giants, who will both be in the playoffs, then we got to consider Detroit to be serious too.
I mean, look at this. I mean, Detroit goes and they get rid of in my opinion, their best pass catcher in T.J. Hawkinson. You expect them to kind of fold the season in at that point, right?
I don't know if he's their best pass catcher.
But they haven't. Amon-Ra St. Brown has almost doubled his target share. Jamal Williams is playing out of his mind. He had the 3 touchdowns this past weekend. DeAndre Swift, it's almost like they're limiting his usage for him to get healthy, knowing that they are going to make a playoff push. And Jared Goff is being an excellent game manager.
Push back on that.
I don't think that they're limiting Swift because of injury concerns or for postseason, probability. It's because Swift doesn't seem to be the running back one in that backfield. Well, if you look at the tape, though, he doesn't pick the right angle when he's running. He's more of a side to side runner than north and south, and how they're coaching and how the culture of Detroit is. They're kind of ground and pound, trying to get back to the black and blue.
But if you look at his tape prior to the injury as compared to now, he was definitely a lot more elusive. He was definitely getting in the open field a lot more, and he was receiving a lot of target share as well. And that's why I say, with Jamal playing so well at this point, there's no need to really force the ball.
Let me interject here. 2 things. I'm going to talk about both of those guys. I'll say Williams is playing okay. He's not. I mean, he scored 3 touchdowns, but if you look at his stat line besides that, I think he may have had the lowest yardage with multiple touchdowns since Jerome Bettis in the mid-90s, something like that. He didn't wow anybody at all. I think Swift needs to be on the field more. That might lean itself towards what you're saying as far as running angles. I think he probably doesn't have the feel that he had maybe last year when he was playing a bit more. I don't think they're holding him back purposely, though. I still think once he's fully healthy, I mean, last week he was healthy, but he was fighting an illness. He had, I guess, the flu or something like that. He said he was going to play through it. I think he'll get integrated. I think he's not going to be a bell cow back ever. I do think he could be a guy that gets 12 to 15 touches a game, and you could still get production out of him, fantasy or in real life. I think once he's 100%, he's still a game-breaking type of player. I like Swift. Williams is just solid, and I think he's the heart and soul of that offense, honestly. I think he is the guy that makes that thing go. And I think they do have a chance, to challenge for that last wild card spot. We got to see how things shake out because 49ers are looking dominant. And, the NFC is, I think, starting to shake out to what we're going to see. The Commanders look strong, but they can contest. If they win this game, it's a statement game to win.
Kind of brings us to the next thing, too. The NFC East. The entire NFC East can make the playoffs if everything goes right for all those teams. I
did say this last week, but looking at it, I think I think 3 will get in. I think they're going to beat each other up too much at the end of the year. The Commanders play the Giants twice. Eagles play the Giants twice. Cowboys still have a couple games left in the East. You're going to wind up just knocking each other out. Somebody's going to beat a team that doesn't get in.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to see all 4 teams in there.
Yeah, so. I mean, it'd be cool. It's never happened before, but
yeah, I guess.
So what do we think about that game? I mean, I have a lot of thoughts on it, obviously, but I'd rather you take the lead here.
If it could be a tie, that'd be cool. I probably won't watch this game. If I do watch it, it's out of spite, and probably because, spoiler alert for Pod Picks, I think I have one of those teams on the spread.
Nice.
The Giants were fun to watch last week, that's for sure. They looked like the Giants were supposed to look all season, and I think the Cowboys and the Giants are both going to meet what my expectations were for them on this Thanksgiving game. It's just going to be a lot of ugly football. The Giants have key injuries, which are unfortunate for the people that like that team. The Cowboys can't really seem to get... Ironically, I don't think their offense is going to be as good as it was last week against the Vikings, of course. Mike McCarthy's brain actually might be growing in size because of the way he's using his running backs. Finally, it seems like for them it's good. But I don't know. I think Trayvon Diggs is burnt toast. He's going to make Darius Slayton look like a wide receiver 1, and it'll probably be like a 22-14 game.
So I would agree that I think Diggs is severely overrated against true wide receiver 1s. Darius Slayton's not a true wide receiver 1.
Yeah, Stoney put like 160 yards up against him in his debut.
So he's had like 80 some yards each of the past 2 weeks. He hasn't emerged until 2 weeks ago, but they are finally starting to recognize his ability. With that being said, Wan'Dale went down. Saquon was bottled up last week. They used Breida a bunch. Daniel Jones, he had that one long run for 51 yards, so they didn't even really run Daniel Jones too much. And that Cowboys offense looked like a juggernaut. It looked like they finally figured it out. And that was just basically with running back utilization, too. I mean, they really kind of abandoned their wide receivers and their dominant tight end. And, to me, that seems a little scary because you have a lot of play with that headed towards the playoffs, where if you can get all these systems clicking, then your playbook opens up very, very wide. So it's a D team at home on Thanksgiving, which is usually the saying is you take the home teams on Thanksgiving. And I think the Cowboys have just gotten hot at the right time, and I think the Giants are kind of running into a bandsaw here.
I'll agree with you there as far as the Giants coming into this game. I don't expect the Giants to win this game just because of the 3-day turnaround, losing Adoree Jackson. It's going to be tough to deal with Lamb without Adoree Jackson on the field, and they lost their other starting cornerback. But I will say for the Cowboys, we've seen this the last couple of years. They'll have a game like this.
They will.
And then they'll come back to earth. I don't believe that they're going to put up 40 points. If they do, I mean, like I said, I do think it'll be tough to deal with Lamb without Adoree Jackson on the field because it does really change the whole defense. But I can see them winning. I just don't see it being a blowout. And bigger picture-wise, I think both of these teams, whoever loses, I don't think it really hurts them too much.
No.
Giants probably under the
2 in a row is hard.
More pressure, 2 in a row, such close proximity, but their schedule going forward, I think they have the toughest schedule in the NFL for the remainder of the season. So it's a little tough for them. They still, like I said, they got Philly twice, Commanders who look like a team now twice, still got to see the Vikings. So they got a tough road. If they drop this one, which I think they will, I still think they can squeak into the playoffs, but it's going to be a lot harder than we thought it was before they lost to Detroit. And Dallas, Dallas is Dallas.
Yeah, this is what they were doing before. This is how they win games. They use their running backs. They don't make Dak look like what they paid him for. And I just hope the Cowboys shoot themselves in the foot again because right now they healed the wound.
I think they will always shoot themselves in the foot. I think they'll make the playoffs, and I think they will lose early.
Because of poor time management by Dak.
On and McCarthy. McCarthy.
But hey, I would love for the Giants to win. I just don't see it happening. And then that brings up, we just talked about the Vikings and the Patriots who had, that was one of the worst. That reminded me of Deshaun Jackson in the Meadowlands, that return.
Yeah.
I could not believe that when that happened. So the Patriots.
Yeah.
I missed it. I completely missed what
Are
happened.
you kidding me?
My jaw
Yeah,
was on
no.
the floor too.
No,
So
Sunday I
the
spent
game, well, Zach Wilson threw, I think was
77 yards.
9 for 22 for 77 yards. Okay. The game was 3-3. The Jets defense stood on their heads. 7 seconds left in that game. They punted it. The Jets, thinking they're going to overtime. He returns it 64 yards for a touchdown.
And a stunner.
Wow.
It was something else. And I tell you, that's why I just started Deshaun Jackson doing it to the Giants. And that's why I said sorry to my cousin in the chat, because to lose like that, I mean, that's a demoralizing loss. And here's the big story to me is, number one, that was the fourth game Zach Wilson threw for under 160 yards this season. Less than 50% completion. I mean, less than 50%. Yeah, I'm saying that wrong. You got what I'm saying. But after the game, they asked him if he thinks that the offense let the defense down. He said no. And
Just no, period. Nothing else.
I mean,
That started a media storm.
that's
So
a
that's what Booger McFarland got in trouble for then.
Yep.
why?
Because he called Zach Wilson out for not ever taking accountability.
okay.
Because
And
Wilson's
then-
had money and white privilege. And
Oh, wow. All right. So that's I don't like that he went there, but I mean, they gave whoever asked the question, it was a layup question.
and that guy got a pay raise.
Yeah, you gave him. I'm saying it was when I say layup, I mean it was a layup question. They're giving it to the young quarterback so he could say what he needs to say.
Yeah.
And he
Like, so
didn't,
he doesn't
but
have
he
to come
didn't.
out. Yeah, they gave him a layup. Like, do you think? And you just say, yeah, we got to play better. Easy. For him to say no, you don't think that defense that
feelings got hurt.
shut down the Patriots, 3 points. You should be able to win a game. And then for the young quarterback to not say anything, just to say no, I mean, that's got to. I think that's why what I was saying about them starting Flacco is that Saleh was on his weekly radio hit, and he wouldn't commit to starting Zach Wilson this week.
Yeah.
I bet you the sauce is hot in that locker room.
And
I was gonna say there's two things. One with the Jets, they've been playing so well, and they've been on the right side of momentum. This really hurts them because there's controversy now, and there's just unnecessary amount of distractions. But also, I mean,
And super unnecessary because they're only 6-4. If that doesn't happen, they're 7-3, and they're tied for the division lead.
For the
he coulda
Jets
just
to-
kept morale high.
for the Jets to have, it goes both ways. Like for the Jets to have stopped the Patriots at 3 points, they could win the game. But the Patriots too, like it's not talked about. Like the Jets defense is good, yes, but Bill Belichick has seen this team before, and for them to win by a punt return is something that they should also look in the mirror too for.
Oh, they need to for sure, but who cares, right? I mean, it's the Patriots. We're talking about the Jets who haven't won in so long. Like, big thing is Zach Wilson's play is forcing him to decide between developing him or making the playoffs. Because the truth is, they beat Buffalo. He managed that game. But they lost to the Patriots 2 weeks before that and then lost to them again. Those two games, if Flacco plays, I believe they win both of those games.
Are they a Joe Flacco away from playoff contention?
I think their defense is so good right now that they just need a steady hand. I do think that first game where he throws 3 picks, they win that game at home. And I believe this game, they score a touchdown or a field goal to win that game at some point with Joe Flacco in the game.
Do you think Quinnen Williams is still beating the shit out of Zach Wilson right now?
Oh, man, I'm sure he could if he wanted to.
My God. What a
he-
dick thing
I mean-
to do, Zach Wilson. Jesus Christ, man. You're the quarterback, the young quarterback of a young team that they've built
For
the
you.
nucleus around you and kept the team young and waded through shit for the last 2 years for you. And you just threw them all under the bus, dude. That's despicable.
And I think that's why it's in question whether he's going to continue to be the starter. I'm sure Saleh's looking at not only the on-field play and what it's cost them, but what his comments in the media have cost them. And you got guys that know they're good, know they could win and go to the playoffs, and a guy sitting there that's done it before. It's tough. He's in his second year too. He had a bad first year.
Yeah.
His job's going to be called into question if they were 6-3, 6-2 before they played the Patriots the first time. 5-2. But I'm saying they were basically right there to be in contention for the division. if they fold going down the end of the season, he could be on the hot seat, and he might have to make a decision like that. And like you were saying, the Pats. We didn't even talk about the Vikings here. Wow, we really just talked about Jets Patriots.
One last thing, Zach Wilson, you just banged your last teammate's mom, brother.
Come on, man. So the Vikings. I mean, the Vikings. Wow. They play the Eagles early in the year, get shellacked. They play the Cowboys, get shellacked. Who is this team? I think they're still going to win like 12 or 13 games, just because the way their schedule falls. But does that mean? I mean, are they a contender? Do we think they could beat a good team?
I think they're borderline fraudulent. I mean, I think they have the most one-score games that have favored them in the end this whole season. And I mean, you already gave credit to their schedule being what it is. To lose handsomely to two teams that will be in the playoffs says something. I mean, Kirk Cousins can't play playoff games at 1 o'clock all the time. It's not going to happen. True. It's impossible.
Roger, can we move the Super Bowl to 1 o'clock on Sunday? Is that possible?
As crazy as it sounds, I do still think there's a chance they could get to the championship game.
It's just that type of season for the Vikings. I mean, they've
seeding and
a lot has favored them, and I don't think that stuff is going to carry you when it comes to crunch time.
So 8:25 start. This is nighttime. Kirk, do we think they win?
Bill Belichick. Good coaches off embarrassing losses typically at least cover the game after, and the Vikings are not a I don't want to say they're not well coached team because I like their coaching staff. I like what they're doing in Minnesota, but this stuff gives Belichick the advantage.
I agree, but just like we were talking about that Jets game, they scored 3 points on offense. So do we think they can keep up with the Vikings? Even if Kirk Cousins throws 2 interceptions, I still don't think they're going to hold the Vikings down the way they did the Jets.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a possibility, especially with how poorly Kirk plays at night. And for me,
he's not going to play like Zach Wilson.
For me, as far as playoff implications go, this game is probably the most exciting of the slate. I get the Giants and the Cowboys, jockeying for position in the division. But, I mean, you have New England that if they win this game, they move to 7-4, right? And they're looking pretty strong for a playoff. Then you have Minnesota dropping to 8-3. And depending on, what else happens, earlier in the day, if Detroit happens to win, they pull within 3, there's still a chance there, highly unlikely. But, then you have the Vikings going into the playoffs on a low, knowing that they've already faced legitimate playoff.
So how does that
teams,
make
like
that the most interesting one?
Because there's a lot of playoff implication here.
Well, I know. I'm saying
I feel like
it's
it's
the
a
most
trap
interesting.
game. I feel like it's a trap game.
For who?
For
the Vikings?
Anybody picking this game.
Oh, yeah.
But
the line is a little funny.
I will say this, though. When you guys saw the Thanksgiving slate, did it feel weird that there was a Vikings-Patriots? Did those teams don't typically play on Thanksgiving?
Vikings here and there.
I mean, obviously the Randy Moss Cowboys game.
Ever since they went to the 3 games, what was that? Maybe like 10 years ago. You've been seeing a lot that nighttime game have a lot of.
Because the Saints have had it a few years.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe 2 of the last 3 or something like that. But I don't know. Not seeing. I mean, the Eagles haven't had a Thanksgiving game in a little bit.
Giants either. Giants last time we had one was 2012.
It's been the Commies against the Cowboys.
I don't know how you can't wrap your head around the fact that people hate the fucking Eagles, man. Nobody wants to see the Eagles on Thursday. I don't even want to see the Eagles on Sunday.
Well, you're seeing them Sunday night.
When I'm sitting on my couch and
our
I'm
fourth
full,
prime
I'm like,
time
oh
game.
my God, Thanksgiving's awesome. I love turkey. I can't wait
You
to
love
watch
turkey?
Christmas Vacation later. Let's throw on this game. It's the fucking Eagles. Unbelievable.
Turkey's too dry for Mark. That's why he drinks the gravy afterwards. I mean, the Bears
looks like I'm watching.
Bears
Christmas
had one
Vacation
primetime game this year, and they gave us a reason to never have them on primetime.
All I have to say is, even before the show, you said that Chicago's becoming your favorite team to bet on the spread.
Yeah, because they're a bad team that loses close.
That lose because of the fucking refs. Dude, we can get into it if you want
let's
to.
not get into
I can go down the list of why Chicago.
It's a Thanksgiving show. They're not even playing. So. All right, well, that's our wrap-up of the games on Thanksgiving. Hope you guys do well if you're betting money. What will we say on these spreads real quick? Do we think Buffalo covers the 10?
No.
I don't think they cover the 10 either. I should have took that shit. Do we think the Cowboys cover the 9.5?
I think I have the Giants. So, no.
I think Dallas covers the 9.5.
Yeah, I don't think they cover the 9. I do think they win, though. And then Pats at the Vikings are getting 3 or giving 3?
Vikings are They're favorites.
Yeah, they're favorites.
I never understand when you ask that question, but they're favorites.
Okay, they are. So the Vikings are -3 at home to the Pats. What say you?
I say Patriots +3.
I say Patriots +3.
I say Vikings -3. All right, so now we're going to move on to a little special segment. I think we'll probably only do this one time a year, right? So
Yeah,
Probably.
we're not thankful for much.
no, we're not. So in the spirit of Thanksgiving, we're just going to talk about what we're thankful for. Sorry, I had a brain fart.
Sports twist.
Sports twist.
Yes, in sports, not
Twist
in our lives. So
by
you know,
sports.
we won't be mentioning like our wonderful families.
Sappy, gooey things.
But I want Mark to go first.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, you just do one at a time. We're gonna do one or two. So
All right. I'm thankful for Ohio State. And here's why. Because they finally produced a quarterback that come into the league and is exciting and gives his chance to win. It gives his team a chance to win every week.
Jury's still out on that one.
This guy is electric with his legs. Mind you, he's got a little bit of, he's got some accuracy issues, but I think has a lot to do with the fact that his offensive line sucks, which is the reason why he's running a lot.
That's right.
We have solid running backs. We just picked up Claypool to pair with Mooney. Mooney's exciting as well. Claypool is, jury's still out, but I think he could be a good compliment. And our tight end is fantastic. Our defense blows once again, but I'm thankful for Ohio State finally producing an NFL-worthy quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, shout out Ohio State for also just kind of like being embarrassing in games that they should win in college, right? Like, or at least not covering, or just they always are like a top 4 team. But like, I have a friend that's an Ohio State fan, and we make fun of them because we can. Like, they give us the opportunity. So shout out.
ever since Urban Meyer left,
Yeah,
shit franchise.
Downhill.
I don't know. The
Shit
jury's still
college.
out on that one.
I'm just trying to bother Rocky. All right.
They're shit fans too.
Rocky, say anything if Ohio State doesn't suck.
Yeah.
Jury is not out on that one.
Not even he can argue that. All right.
Finalized.
Let me hear what you're thankful for.
Well, I am thankful for kind of my own fantasy IQ this year. I'm thankful for having great fantasy teams. Drafted amazing in a redraft league. First year in Phil's dynasty league with contracts and
Also,
salary caps.
Side note: first person to ever trade a draft pick that he didn't own.
We'll forget about that part.
Fantasy IQ.
Hey, but 8-2-1 and 8-3 is pretty solid. I don't know. I'm thankful. I'm thankful for having fantasy teams and fantasy seasons that have not hurt my heart and given me high blood pressure.
See, I feel like you're being condescending here because you just beat me this week.
Well,
with Tua on the bench.
I wasn't gonna bring it
with
up.
Walker on the bench.
I wasn't gonna bring
not
it up.
allowed on the bench. All right, your fantasy IQ, buddy. You have the least amount of points scored against you in the league, man. That sets you up to win by almost 100 points.
I think I'm 4th in points forced. I mean, I've been winning.
You're 5th.
I'm 2nd.
You son of a bitch.
I'm just and ever since they said that
Why are you so upset?
they pulled the archives out that Marco was supposed to be this golden child when he joined the league.
Well, he
a few
just
years
talked
ago.
a lot of shit his first year.
Yeah.
He definitely did, yes.
But I also did take a very
He said
shit
3
team to the playoffs.
3 years, I will win this league, is what he said.
I'm a rebuilding team that is locked for the playoffs. So
No, you're doing well. I'll give you that. I will give you
You
your
did
respect
well
there.
for your first year.
All right, so when I do have a couple things written down here, but I think I might switch it up. And I'm going to say I'm thankful for Mike McCarthy because I know when I go to sleep at night, no matter what, no matter how much talent the Dallas Cowboys have, no matter how well Dak plays, no matter how talented CeeDee Lamb is, no matter how good they look against another good team, he will find a way to screw things up.
yeah, I am
No
thankful too.
matter what. And I'm happy it's him there, not a good coach.
Let's sign him for life. Let's get him
I
a
mean,
guaranteed lifetime contract.
All joking aside, it's just, some coaches give off an air of like Mike Tomlin. You feel like the Steelers are typically going to be competitive and give his team a chance to win. And Mike McCarthy, you just feel like there's always a chance they'll lose because of him. And I sleep better at night with the Cowboys having him at the helm. So, Mark, do you have anything else?
Yeah, all right. So the second thing I'm thankful for, and it being Thanksgiving and the NFC North being your predominantly televised team on Thanksgiving,
Okay,
right?
That's true.
They kind of represent Thanksgiving.
Okay, just
I'm
stop.
gonna-
You're
I'm gonna-
going. Don't go for the extra stuff.
I'm
Just,
gonna keep it in the North. I am thankful. And this is gonna sound weird coming from a Bears fan, but hear me out. I'm thankful for Aaron Rodgers.
well, you just stole my thunder, right? You just did the same thing I did.
Here's why I am thankful for Aaron Rodgers. All right, because he's finally aging. You fucking jerk off. I cannot wait for you to exit this league and stop owning Chicago, okay? Here's what I'm thankful for. I'm thankful that you've only thrown for 2,500 yards. I'm thankful that your
Stats.
that your TD to INT ratio is 19-7, probably the lowest in your career.
It's pretty good.
Boo-hoo. And
Justin Fields can.
I am super thankful that you have been sacked 21 times. I hope you've been hit like 421 times, but I'll take the 21 sacks. You holding onto the ball and getting up with your helmet turned to the side and your goddamn chin strap around your nose.
That was like 2 years ago.
He's also
whatever.
matching.
It happens every
He
time.
matches your
sacked.
pod picks too. Your points.
So
Both have 21.
I am thankful that Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers look like.
The Bears.
Do you have another thankfulness?
Yeah, I do.
All right, let's hear it.
I do. I was gonna go with some basketball, but I'm not.
Mm-hmm. Don't do
I'm
it.
thankful for Howie Roseman.
Okay.
He had some, I don't want to say bad years, just years that like a mid GM would have, where he was losing his genius card a little bit. Then he brought it right back. I mean, the trade for AJ Brown on draft day, it means a lot more than I thought it was initially going to mean.
Mm-hmm.
To realize problems during the season with the run defense, and then pick up they're out of their prime, but two bodies in the middle of the defensive line there to kind of trust in Jalen Hurts, to draft Jalen Hurts, to realize that you can't really draft wide receivers, so you go for a surefire Devonta Smith pick. I'm happy that competent coaching and competent just GMing is such it should be a common thing in the league, but it's not.
Seems competent.
I mean, you've got you've got Mike McCarthy's, you've got.
That's right.
I mean, you got all the Giants head coaches before the one that you currently have.
All?
Most, at least in my lifetime. Tom
Bill-
Coughlin was okay, and then
Bill Parcells.
Okay. You mean Hall of Fame?
you get
Tom
and then you
Coughlin?
get the rest
Okay.
of those, the Joe Judges and the Pat Shermers.
Yeah, that's two.
So it just I'm appreciative. Thankful.
Jason Garrett.
Yes.
Jason Garrett.
Jason
you really
Garrett.
had a fucking string of coaches,
Well,
didn't
he
you?
was a coordinator. He wasn't a head coach.
Well, I said
He
coaches.
just said coaches.
yeah.
Okay, that's fair. Semantics. All right. So one last thing I'm thankful for is nights off from work. 2 last years before this year, I worked overnight and I wasn't able to watch basketball or hockey games or Thursday night games, Monday night games, and I'm just thankful to be home and be able to catch the game.
Yeah.
I feel
That's
robbed
basically
of a real life thing that you just said there.
Well, it's for sports. I'm saying I'm thankful for it because I get to watch sports again. Like I missed for 2 years a majority of both the Knicks, Rangers
You weren't missing
seasons.
much.
You
No,
weren't
no, I
missing
was.
much.
They went to the final twice. So
I
it's
feel extra
nice.
shitty now.
It's nice to watch them. Why? What happened?
My thankfulness was just jabs at other teams, and then
Oh, well, I
photos. I'm
took a
thankful
jab at-
for spending time with my family. On
No, I
nights.
didn't say-
Well,
I
no,
didn't
we
even
weren't
mention my
supposed- We weren't
family.
even supposed to do this.
Wait. I didn't mention my family at all.
That's why he goes last. It's just like Rocky not giving us his picks until everybody else picks.
All right, so then I'm saying it because I get to watch sports, not because I get to see my family.
Family, I love you too, and I wish that I would have known the parameters.
Did I
of
mention
this
my family?
bit,
No, you
and,
didn't.
and I would have mentioned you because
I didn't even. It's
completely
probably
love you.
worse that I said this and didn't mention
Shout
my
out
family.
to my wonderful wife Tara
Oh,
and
my
my
God.
beautiful children Gianna, Brooks,
Ooh,
and
you
Fiona.
doxed your entire family.
Yeah, no, I didn't even mention my wife or
What's
my
your home
kids.
address?
I'm happy to be home to watch the game. So, and honorable mention Brian Dable. All right.
Hey, coach of the year,
So now, Zach.
Yes.
Zacchaeus.
Zaddy.
Grind my gears.
Know what really grinds my gears?
Grinds my gears. Grinds my gears. Grinds. You know what really grinds my gears?
Know what really grinds my gears?
Grinds.
Grinds your gears. Grinds your gears. Grinds your gears.
Grinds.
Right?
And that's what really
So,
grinds my
tell me,
gears.
what grinds your gears?
Yeah, you know what grinds my gears? At first, I was going to talk about Zach Wilson and, all the media, whatever, but Big
Yeah.
Media already took care of that.
They
So
took
I'm
care
going
of
to
it.
go with a team that I saw on Monday night that just really pissed me off and would piss me off even more if I was a Cardinals fan. What are they?
That wasn't me.
You know, what grinds my gears when Phil starts watching stuff on his phone when I'm taking lead of a segment.
Checking something. Sorry, guys.
No, you know, it's not a coincidence
You're on
that
Snapchat.
Kyler Murray is hurt and not playing, and the new Call of Duty just dropped. I'm just saying, those two things happened.
Yes, it did.
But to watch,
Double XP weekend.
yeah, it's for George Kittle to have that second touchdown and to see just the Cardinals defense not even try and tackle the guy. Just they can't do anything. Rondale Moore gets hurt in the first play. For the Cardinals to really not have any positive yardage on like their first play from scrimmage, and for the rest of their offense to do that on each drive, it just everything looks lazy there. For Cliff Kingsbury to not take control of the team, it just nothing looks fun about them. It would grind my gears if I was a Cardinals fan. It grinded my gears watching because they look pathetic.
The magic's gone.
Magic's gone.
Speaking of looking pathetic, you ever see when they pan to the sideline and Kyler's just standing there with that dumb look on his face? And
He does
his
have a dumb look.
Stupid braids.
He got a big contract though.
You know what I heard for the you know how they do the Heisman commercials?
Yes.
There is a bit where Kyler and I think Tim Tebow were like doing like a Q&A or something for the marketing, and they don't have them showing their legs. I think Kyler Murray was standing on a stool. You guys should look at that.
Yeah, I bet he was.
I stood on the stool once, so
Are there dumber looking braids in the NFL than Kyler Murray's?
Oh,
I don't
wow.
know. Now we're really
Wow,
gunning for the
yeah.
guy personally.
Yeah.
I mean, we got to chop it up a
I
little bit, right?
I might have paved that lane. You should get treads.
No, he does look funny though. I'll give you that. He doesn't inspire much of anything when you see him on the sideline. He's not talking guys up. It doesn't seem. There's no energy. There's no je ne sais quoi, if you will.
Yeah.
It's just kind of a guy.
What do you
mostly-
think his lady's got to do to get ready? You think she like pictures like real men on the team?
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
I don't know. Maybe. Who do you think they'd picture? Who would you picture?
I don't know. I mean, it just braids alone. She's like, oh man, why can't you have hair like DeAndre, for crying out loud? Why you got to have these thin little,
You like DeAndre's braids?
these thin little Zach's mustache braids?
Oh wow. Do you like DeAndre's braids better?
Kind of straight there.
They're thicker.
So you like thicker?
Thicker's better.
Okay.
Yeah, 9 times out of 10, thicker is better.
Some, I guess it depends on certain things, but yeah.
Kyler, put down the controller, kick the stool away, and
Well, he didn't play
football.
So Colt McCoy played.
But the point,
It's
I
all
think the
butterfly
point he's
effect.
making is that he could have played.
It's all butterfly effect.
There, you're right. Okay.
think
All
he
right.
could've played.
So that being said, yeah, I picked the Cardinals to win that game, and they did not. I mean, cover. They did not.
They
so
did not. Timothy Garoppolo.
yeah, bad. Oh, gorgeous Jimmy looked great last night, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
He looked good. He looked like a quarterback. I'll tell you that. And they
Jimothy.
look like a Super Bowl contender, who I picked to go to the Super Bowl from the NFC.
Jimmy Garoppolo is a good quarterback.
He is.
I have always said that.
Yep.
Taking
100%.
him over Kirk Cousins.
Back to my argument that just because he's not Aaron Rodgers or Patrick Mahomes doesn't mean you can't win with him. He's a good quarterback.
People talk about Kyler Murray, how they should talk about Jimmy Garoppolo. and
Oh
vice
yeah,
versa.
well it's flash. A guy
Yeah.
could run, he makes flashy plays, and then that's it. And you run with that. Jimmy Garoppolo, I'd much rather have him right now than Kyler Murray.
I think the Cardinals would too.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so let's get to our pod picks. With that being said, we're gonna give Rockies first this week. Does somebody want to do those?
Rocky
have him?
hasn't given him yet.
Oh, he still
Oh, my
hasn't,
gosh.
huh?
Still has not
Wow,
given 'em.
isn't that something?
He probably is asleep right now.
He's
All right,
not
so-
asleep.
Took the meds, kicked the feet up.
Hopefully, Rocky gets his illegal picks in before I post this on Thanksgiving, and I will flash them right here in front of Mark's face to give everybody a break. But yeah, no surprise that Rocky's sitting there trying to scheme on how he could block all of us because for some reason he thinks that his picks matter more than
And
ours.
no excuses. He's in Cleveland, so it's only 6:15 right now, which
Yeah,
means
they're-
he's been home from dinner for at least 2 hours.
Yeah, well, they went to the early bird. He's an older
That's what I'm
gentleman.
saying. He was at the
Maybe
Old
he-
Country Buffet at 4:15.
I was gonna say maybe he passed out at the buffet and he's just
It's possible. He is a slob.
handing the chocolate fountain.
All right, so let's start with our. You know what? I'll start first. Okay, I'm starting with my dog. And my dog it's a home dog, and I think it's a team that's been underrated all year, and they're getting disrespected once again. The Titans.
You did a fist bump like
You thought I was talking about the Bears?
No.
Okay.
I knew where you were going. I got
So
your
the-
picks in front of me.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you're right. The Titans are getting 1.5 points at home, which is essentially a pick 'em kind of. But they're home to the Bengals, and here's the angle. Number one, they're the Titans.
Yeah.
They're good.
They're
a lot
really
better.
good.
Bengals are good too. The Titans are good.
No, he said really good.
They are really
They
good.
are really good.
They've been really good for like 4 years.
Another quarterback that people love to disrespect who throws absolute fucking dimes is Ryan Tannehill.
He does. I've argued for Tannehill last season.
That ball that he
Tannehill-
put on Treylon Burks on that first throw was
Hey.
ridiculous.
I agree. Let me make my point though. Tannehill, like I said before, his whole image is tainted by one bad game in the playoffs.
yeah.
And the same thing with Garoppolo. Garoppolo misses a pass in the Super Bowl. Now he can't win a Super Bowl. It's just lazy analysis. Ryan Tannehill has been the quarterback of a team that's won the division like 4 years in a row. Went toe to toe with Kansas City. Has been. I mean, they played in big games.
Malik Willis played.
Who?
You talking about?
No, I'm talking about the playoffs.
Okay.
Kansas City.
Okay,
Like
okay.
real games. So this is a guy that's been there, done that, has shown and proved that he could play and win. They get disrespected. They're home to the Bengals. The Bengals beat them in the playoffs last year. And if there's one thing about the Titans, their coach,
Remember them.
he gets that team up for big games, especially games where they are not given a chance to, or where they're not favored to win. They're home. He's going to have them fired up that they're being disrespected and our home dogs. I think they exact revenge for their loss last year in the playoffs on the Bengals, and I think they beat them by more than 5 points. Okay, my second pick. I'm taking the Browns, the lowly Browns at home versus the Bucks. And I'll tell you why. The Bucks have looked a little bit better, but they have not scored much all season. I think a low-scoring team like this on the road, cold weather. Tom Brady's not used to the cold weather anymore. That team plays in Tampa, Florida. It's going to be cold. They're going to run the ball, and I think they win this game outright. Not only cover the 3 points. And then I'm taking the Bears.
Well,
plus,
you discounted the biggest factor of that game.
What?
Deshaun Therapist Watson is back.
No,
No.
he's not. See, you're dumb. And thank
No,
you.
it
Please
is.
clip that.
This is week 12.
No, he's not back.
Week 14 against the Texans, just like the
Yeah.
NFL script writers did it.
I thought it was 11.
No.
Yeah, no. All right, stop talking.
Well, we're in week 12 anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, 11 week suspension. And then
Games.
back to 12.
Games. All right.
I'm looking this up.
You look that up. All right. So the Browns +3 at home to the Bucks, and then I'm taking your Bears +4.5 at the Jets because I think that it's going to be a low-scoring game because that Jets defense is good, but the Bears, they will cause problems with Fields getting outside of the pocket. The Jets can't score a lot. I do still think they probably win this game just because of that defense, but I do think the Bears, it's going to be very close. If the Jets win, if they put Flacco out there and win this game, I think it'd be by a field goal.
Flocka.
Joe
Flocka.
Flocka.
All right, who's next?
Joe Waka Flocka. I can go next.
Yeah.
We have some similar picks, but we have some opposite picks too. I'll start with the first one. There's a lot of nice heartfelt explanations with why the Titans would win, and it almost swayed me. But I'm gonna go with my gut. I'm gonna go with what made me win last week through pod picks overall.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the Bengals -1.5.
Okay.
And saying this now in real time, I just realized I just said my lock
Yeah,
first.
restart.
Okay, yeah, go ahead, restart. All right, so go ahead, Zach.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go with my dog first. I think we just talked about the Chicago Bears.
Chicago Bears.
They have offensive firepower, it seems.
Camaraderie.
Enough to
Loving
and camaraderie.
the camaraderie on the panel today.
They've got offensive camaraderie, and I think that's gonna do enough to battle the Jets' defensive camaraderie, and I think they're gonna cover the game.
yeah.
Next, I'm gonna go with I don't usually take a lot of points for games, but I'm gonna take 49ers -9.
This is interesting.
Yeah, and can one of you guys remind me who they play again?
They are on the road. No, they're playing the Saints. Yes.
Yeah, they are playing the Saints
at home, right? They're home.
They're home against the.
They're home against the Saints.
The Saints haven't really played good football. And
They do. They've been scoring though.
They've been scoring, but I like the odds against the 49ers defense, and I definitely like the odds against a 49ers offense.
Yeah.
Like I think they can win by a touchdown and a field goal. I think they can
I think they can too.
put it over the hump there a little bit. The third and final game is, we kind of alluded to this before, but I'm going to take Giants +9.5. Another big point game, but I like that more for teams that cover, of course. I think the Giants are well coached. I hate to admit it. I think on Thanksgiving there might be little bit of prime timey feel to it, and someone's going to play above their heads, and I think the Cowboys are going to falter because of that. I like them to cover. Adoree Jackson does scare me, but I think they can overcome it.
Yeah, I don't think so. All right, Mark.
Is it me already?
Yeah.
Still looking up if Deshaun Watson is suspended.
Yeah.
So Deshaun Watson is back this week, and while you guys look that up, I'll give my picks.
He's not back this week.
All right, let's start.
He's back in practice.
He's back.
He's not back.
That's the technicality.
Yeah.
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 Just like I said,
We
he's
knew
back.
that. Yeah, we knew he was practicing.
Oh boy.
He's back.
All right, you want to give your picks, maybe?
All right, let's give my picks. You know what? I'm going to start with a team that's probably playing below expectation. No, not probably. They definitely are. They're not putting points on the board like they should.
Oh, I know who he's going with.
And I don't know if it's due to the NFL finally catching up to the quarterback, or if it's the fact that his playmakers have been banged up, the supporting cast, and the controversy around his contract. But I am going to go with Baltimore in Jacksonville -4 points, and I think for Lamar this is going to be kind of a statement game that says "F you, we are here. We're gonna be something
Really against the Jaguars
to face in the playoffs." I don't like Trevor Lawrence. I think he's a game manager. I think what you said. I think the way they talk about Jimmy G is how they should probably talk about Trevor Lawrence at this point in his career. He looks like potentially in the future he might be able to be coached up, and hopefully he can. But at this given juncture,
Minshew is better.
I like Baltimore -4 in Jacksonville.
Okay.
I too am also riding this Titan train, man.
Yeah.
These guys, and it's every year, man. Every year they are so disrespected. Every year somebody takes, a team to finish ahead of them in the division. They don't give them credit.
Not me.
Tannehill.
Not this year.
Tannehill's a
we do
game
that?
manager. He's
Not me.
No, me
Yeah,
and
you
Mark.
guys. Yeah.
Tannehill's a game manager, and it's finally going to catch up to him. Derrick Henry's getting old, but people don't realize that Derrick Henry didn't have very much tread on the tires in college, and he came into the pros
Behind DeMarco
very
Murray.
spry and behind DeMarco Murray, and he's like what Rodgers did behind Favre is what he had to do behind DeMarco Murray, and for like 2 years he was underutilized. So like he couldn't wait to bust out, and now you see what he's capable of.
Well, just letting it all hang.
By far the best pure running back in the league.
That's a stretch.
Yeah,
Pure running back?
pure running back.
That's tough.
I mean, the best runner in the league. I mean, the only other running back
He
I could
might be
see
the
you
most-
arguing is Nick Chubb.
Well, there's others. You're saying he's the best pure running back? I don't believe that at all.
Who would
Pure
you-
running back?
Yeah, who would you take?
I
who
would
you
take
say
Chubb
is-
over him. Oh man, nah, if you're really making me dig into crates here, I would say
Who hits
I
the
think
hole better? Who pushes piles? Who is like?
He's not a great short yardage back. Number one,
Man,
he's not. He needs to get ahead of steam because of his size. He is a good runner. I'm not saying he's not a good runner, but to say he's the best pure
Guys
runner
like
in the league,
top 3 in like broken tackles too. I mean,
but that's a different thing than just a pure runner.
Derrick Henry. No, that is pure running.
Okay,
It's
right.
kind of a reach, but Elijah Mitchell looks pretty good when he runs football too. Man gets like 7 yards a carry.
Yeah, well, you know what? I'll mention him. I think he's the most dominant runner of the last probably 3 to 4 years in the league.
Yeah, he reminds me of. He looks like Adrian Peterson, with a little bit less cut. Peterson
A lot
had,
less, yeah.
Peterson had more cut to him.
Yeah.
Peterson was like if you could marry Henry and Barry Sanders together and not get the highest from each.
Okay, yeah, I'll take that.
And parenting problems.
Well, all he did was hit his kid. I mean,
Yeah.
I got hit with belts growing up.
Wait till you have kids.
All right.
Try to keep your hands off them. And my last pick. My last pick, my dog.
Wow.
I'm taking another away team.
Oh boy.
I'm taking who was the best 2-win team in football, who's now the best 3-win team in football, and that's them Raiders going into Seattle plus a field goal 0.5. I like the Raiders to win this game outright.
Do you think Seattle's fading a little bit?
They are fading a little bit.
Yeah. I don't hate that pick. I was thinking about it.
I don't know.
I just don't trust the Raiders enough.
I don't. Yeah, the Seahawks might be fading a little bit, but like it just has been a while since we've seen them, so I think the recency bias favors them being a fading team.
That's fair.
But I think they can beat the Raiders, and then we won't have the conversation.
By more than the
Guess
field
what?
goal?
We'll see.
We will see.
Now it's time for our immortal locks of the week. Mark, what's your well? I do respect the camaraderie on the panel this week. I really do. But neither one of you bitches had the stones to make them your lock. Phil, you took them as your regular 1-point team. Zach, you took them as your dog. A little bit more respect. You did put the 2-point wager on them. But I'm taking them as my goddamn lock. These Bears will not lose. I don't care who they're facing this week. It don't even matter. Plus 4.5 points the way Justin Fields is playing? Are you fucking kidding me? Come on now. And the fact that they're away at the Jets and they're playing Zach Wilson? That guy's a piece of shit. He doesn't even like his defense, for Christ's sake. He throws people under the bus. Well, guess what, motherfucker? We're gonna throw you under the bus. The Bear Bus. Whatever that is. The Bang Bus. Alright, so I'm gonna take as my lock the Vikings -3 to the Patriots at home. And I'll tell you why. Kirk Cousins has to bounce back. Probably played the worst game of the season last week. The Patriots scored 3 points on offense. 3 points on offense. The same as the Vikings last week. That's true. Yeah, that's a good point. Good point. But I still don't think that those Patriots can keep up with Justin Jefferson and them boys. So give me the Vikings -3. Lock it in. Zach, make your pick. The Bengals sneaked by the Steelers last week. I think they're going to sneak by the Titans this week. We talked about how the Titans might be kind of a feel-good story with how they're underrated, with how they're winning games by being a well-coached team. But guess what? The Bengals are going to win. They're going to win with Joey B commanding the team. Good stuff.
All right.
There was a nice
then Rocky, I guess, he'll make his picks whenever because he's the queen.
I'm gonna follow Zaddy's picks. I'm gonna try and keep the lead. The Browns hope they win. When does Watson come back? I don't know. I'm asleep at a buffet right now.
Good.
Try to do a little bit of a marky mark there.
All right, boys. Well, that's the show. Hope you guys enjoy your meals, your Thanksgiving. Hope the games are good. And
Can't believe what happened during the Macy's parade, though.
yeah, that was crazy.
Thoughts and prayers.
Yeah, thoughts and prayers. Go Giants.
Get fat, get sleepy on Thursday.
Oh yeah,
and prayers
please,
and go Giants.
please give us our socials there.
Yeah, follow us on GON Podcasts on your TikTok, on your Instagram, your Twitter, your Facebook. More importantly, like and subscribe, comment, and click the link in our chalkboard.
That's
Click
right.
the link in our description to join our chalkboard. We're at 210 plus members.
That's right.
Love to get to 300. We
Would
help
love
people
that.
win leagues.
We do, or at least we try. We try.
No,
All
we
right,
help
we'll
people
get you
win
there.
leagues.
And also, we're live on TikTok Sundays, 9:30 to 10:30, 10:45ish, and we're giving your lineup advice there, bets advice, all that good stuff.
Yeah, Faces of the Podcasts had a pretty good showing on Sunday.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
The Beauty Childs of
Yeah.
the podcast.
All right, so that was good. We'll see you guys next week. Happy Thanksgiving.
Greens, potatoes, tomatoes, lamb, raw, beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, chicken, beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, lamb, raw, beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, chicken, beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, beans.